Welcome back, everybody, to a very special video. Today is Absolute Universe News, your one-stop shop for all things DC Comics, Absolute Universe, and Marvel Universe from time to time, of which this episode has a lot of. In this packed episode, we're talking about a character sheet straight from Nick Dragotta, new character design that I want to get over. But of course, let's start off with the big news out of Marvel Comics and their Midnight Universe. To celebrate, on October 7th, Marvel Comics is releasing all their Midnight Universe #1s, all three of them on the same day, and they're not releasing any other Marvel comic on that day. So really putting a focus on their Marvel Midnight Universe with Midnight X-Men, Midnight Fantastic Four, and Midnight Spider-Man, all three of those #1s again launching on October 7th, and those are going to be the only Marvel comics releasing on that day. So an impactful and rare move reflecting the project's unique scope and potential to grip new readers. That's their marketing speech, of course. Very interesting to see Marvel Comics put this renewed focus on one of their alternate lines. To me, I had some trepidation going in, right? Is this going to kind of fizzle out just like the Ultimate Universe, or is this going to be something that Marvel is actually putting a lot of their chips into? Let's take a look at some of the art, okay? I want to jump down because Midnight Spider-Man was the one that I was a little bit the most worried about. I like PKJ, but just the concept didn't sound that interesting to me. But check out this art, dude. Disgusting. Absolutely disgusting and terrifying. PKJ, what is going on? So really kind of ramping up the body horror elements after seeing this cover for Midnight Spider-Man #1. I'm all on board. I'm all about it. Very cool and very horrific, okay? So if they're going for that horror route, I think they've nailed it with Midnight Spider-Man, of course. We have a little bit of our first look at Midnight Fantastic Four as we see this doesn't look like the Fantastic Four we know and love. Of course, is that right here? I mean, are we talking about Sue Storm back there? Is that Ben Grimm back there? Is this Reed Richards? Not very similar to our main universe counterparts. We'll have to see kind of what the changes exactly are. And then, of course, we've got this cover before, Midnight X-Men featuring Midnight Storm and Midnight Nightcrawler with that sword, of course. We got the blood dripping down Storm's mouth, the focus on vampires in the Midnight X-Men side of things. And I just wanted to read a little bit about, PKJ's thoughts going into it, right? Marvel's putting a ton of trust in Cytronic and me on this project, and we're using that trust to make big asks and take big creative risks. I want to see Spider-Man that was conceived by H.R. Geiger, directed by David Cronenberg, adapted for the page by Junji Ito. I want Peter's origin to be so upsetting it haunts me, and to see the Lizard and Dr. Octopus through the lens of a John Carpenter movie or a Resident Evil game. I'm so stoked for readers to see what we're making. PKJ, music to my ears. My skin was crawling just reading that. The Midnight Meetings with Jonathan Ben continue to synergize me every time. I want my readers and fans to know I've never written a longer series outline than one for Midnight Spider-Man, Johnson added. By the time the first issue comes out, I've written two 50-plus issue series for Marvel and DC, but I want to and expect Marvel Spider-Man to be the longest, most epic series of my career. The series in which I bring everything I've learned to bear. PKJ, I mean, listen, this was the series I was the most worried about. Now I'm totally sold. The fact that PKJ is like, hey, I've written a ton of stuff for Marvel and DC. I want this to be the longest, most epic series of my career. Is this just marketing talk, at least to start, or is this going to be something we look back to in a couple of years and go, yeah, PKJ was right, he killed it. So I'm looking forward to Marvel's Midnight, especially with Marvel Midnight Spider-Man, seeing this first look. Marvel's Midnight Fantastic Four, I think, has now my least favorite, or at least most anticipated out of the bunch. But let me know what you guys think about it in the comments. Marvel Midnight Universe, starting up in October 7th, three #1s all coming out on the same day, and no other Marvel comics on that day. Let me know what you think about Marvel's strategy in that regard. And while you're down there, why don't you hype? I really appreciate it. But let's get into the Bat character sheet, okay? So this was from Nick Dragotta, posted it right on his, Instagram, and I really wanted to break it down, okay? So let's get into it. Of course, we know this is the absolute Bat, okay? So not Batwoman, not absolute Batgirl. This is the absolute Bat. Who could it be, okay? So we know, of course, as the audience, that underneath the mask is Barbara Gordon. We know that the cowl itself is a Bruce design cowl, and it's got some little bit of changes to the ears. It's got swooped ears, okay? So interesting how it'll compare to Bruce's costume. How does she get this equipment? Does she work with Bruce, or does she kind of like steal it from him or something like that? So we'll have to see. Of course, we know that she's got the shotgun, okay? So the shotgun from Absolute Batman issue number 1, the Batarang buckshot, non-lethal, of course. It shoots out some like electrified batarangs. This is the one, you know, that one, Nick Dragotta is saying the one from issue number 1 of Absolute Batman. Just the design in general is so cool. We know that the trench coat is a nod to her father, Jim Gordon. Of course, he's wearing that trench coat when he passed away at the hands of Absolute Scarecrow. So we know that she's incorporated that into part of her design, as we see here. Gordon's coat. It also has those bat tentacles weaved through the coat, and underneath the coat is some tactical gear with some bat gadgets, of course. Spray painted, chunky bat emblem on the bulletproof vest. So as you see it right on the cover, that's the bulletproof vest, big chunky bat symbol on it. Of course, she's still got a utility belt for some extra Batman equipment. And we know that if you look down here, kind of the ends of the trench coat are, you know, kind of let us know that, hey, it's got those bat tentacles that you can sort of form into whatever you need depending on the situation. Very, very versatile underneath, or I guess weaved throughout the coat. Barbara always hides her face and identity as the Bat. As we see here, she's got the mask pulled up, as opposed to Batman, who lets the bottom of his mouth a little bit exposed. And it seems like she's going to never reveal her identity unless it's with Bruce, okay? So down here, always masked up unless it's with Bruce. We get a little bit of a better look at her without the trench coat. You see how muscly she is, kind of the MMA-inspired designs with the arm wraps, right? And the fact that, I mean, she's just ripped, okay? So I'm excited to see her make her return, or I guess like reintroduction to the series when it comes out in a couple months here. But yeah, I just think that this character design is so cool. I always love when the creators give us a behind the scenes like this. And then last but not least, the last story for today, I did want to point out that at your local comic book stores, the week that I'm recording, you guys can expect Absolute Flash Volume 2, the Still Point trade paperback, to be released. This is where I thought the Absolute Flash series really started to step it up. Issues number 7 through 12. It finds Wally West trying to go back into the base at Fort Fox to try to find his dad who's been captured, and he's working together with the Rogues, okay? So Wally West, the Flash Rogues working together to save Wally West's dad. I thought that this arc in particular really stepped it up, and hopefully people give that a shot. If you dropped off the Absolute Flash title at the first arc, I thought it gets better after that. But that's what we have for today. Absolute Universe News. Of course, I'm doing this every single week, so definitely subscribe if you guys are looking forward to some Absolute Universe News being broken down. Definitely leave a like if you like, definitely hype if you hype it as well. Thank you guys for watching. I'll catch you in the next episode.